In spite of its constant war with overflowing waters, the Netherlands has beaten all odds to blossom beautifully. The pioneering passion of the Dutch has always driven them forward. My trip now leads me to a place where nature and humanity coexist in harmony. Belgium, where the people have always fostered an intimate bond with its forests. Three small nations in Europe, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg, make up the Benelux Union, with the United Kingdom just across the North Sea. Our first stop today is a village in the south of the Netherlands, on the Belgian border called Berle-Nassau. The three small but strong nations of Benelux Union joined forces in 1944, thus unifying their currency and nullifying trade tariffs. As a result, a trip across these three nations offers an eclectic experience no single country could offer. Our first Benelux destination today is a Dutch town near the Belgian border. We find a family of tourists taking pictures while lying on a village roadside.
Oh, very interesting.
Neither a mountain nor a river, this line of crosses is certainly an interesting border. The children look like they're enjoying hopping between countries so easily for the first time.
Yep. See you.
We part ways with the visiting family and head into town. Upon entering the village, we spot its peculiar sign. The town's two names seem similar, but what's really fascinating but that the border runs between neighboring buildings and across local roads. The single village embodies how two nations can coexist peacefully. Here to tell us the town's story is a local resident named Wilhelm. He leads us to a normal family home.
That's why they have a boss.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Because they have two addresses.
They have two addresses.
They have.
이제 주소가 두 개인 거예요. 벨지움 주소가 있고 네덜란드 주소가 있고 그리고 지금도 사인도 보면은 여기에는 벨기에 국기 컬러가 있고 여기는 네덜란드 컬러가 있잖아요. 이 집은 정말 재밌는 집이네요.
That in this house, the family has Belgian and Dutch children. Yeah?
보통은 그 대문에서 대문이 벨기에 쪽에 있으면 벨기에 아이 그리고 네덜란드 쪽에 있으면 네덜란드 아이인데 이 경우 같은 경우는 이게 좀 가로질렀잖아요. 그래서 그때는 부모가 이제 잘 생각해야 되는 거예요. 이 아이에게 벨기에 국적을 줄지 네덜란드 국적을 줄지.
A unique city that seems to make borders irrelevant. Although a symbol of coexistence today, it was only 60 years ago that this land was rent by conflict. During World War II, this was the site of a vicious battle with Germany. The German soldiers occupying this area fortified it with line of 2,000-volt barbed wire fence, and that's how this border originated. I take my leave of the formerly war-torn land, which has become a borderland of peace, and head to the northwest corner of Belgium, which has its own special history. After a 2-hour drive, we arrive.
Hello.
I ran into a resident riding a horse-drawn carriage.
No problem. I'm Dominic. If you want, you can come on the car. Yes.
아, 되게 친절하신데요. 저 이거 타고 같이 할 수 있겠습니다. I'm ready.
Yeah?
This is my first time hitchhiking by a horse.
와, it's really big horse.
1,000 kilo.
What?
1,000 kilo.
1,000 kilo. 1톤.
Yes.
와, 이제 걷는 뒤태가 정말 이 코스가 대단한데요.
A native to Belgium, Dominic's horse is as strong as it is big, which is why Dominic always takes him to work. Surrounded by the European continent and the United Kingdom, Dominic's place of work is the North Sea. We ran into some fishermen busy catching squid. We get ready too.
저 어디 전투 나가는 것 같아요.
Dominic is a different kind of shrimp fisherman. He takes his horse with him to sea.
아, 너무 신기해요. 말이랑 같이 바다에 들어가다니.
There's nothing like a horse for catching shrimp. There's something he needs to do before every job.
Hop, oh, hop. Achteruit, 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 achteruit. Hop. Hop, oh, achteruit.
He needs to warm the horse up.
Hop.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Recul.
Recule.
Recul. Ça, il va faire. Quand l'autre il dit ça, il va pas faire.
After checking up on his horse, Dominic takes out his net for the shrimp. After setting up the net on both sides of the horse, he's ready.
Now we're going to start fishing. Yes.
Using a horse to catch shrimp, or horseback shrimping, is a traditional Belgian method that can be seen only in this North Sea village. I was a little worried that the horse might get scared or run away, but he's as steady as ever.
말은 항상 목초를 달리거나 이렇게 평지를 가는 게 당연하게 생각했는데 말이 바닷속을 막 들어가서 지금 보이지도 않아요. 저렇게 깊은 데까지 들어갔거든요. 현실 같지가 않아요.
If I hadn't come here, it's a sight I could never have imagined. But for Dominic, who's been fishing since age 7, his horse is a part of him.
How many times fishing here? Two times.
3 hours.
About an hour after heading into the vast sea, the net seems to drag heavily. The horse's speed has dropped significantly. It's important that the two work as a team, so the waves and net don't toss them around. Balance and navigation are key. Catching shrimp on horseback is hard work, which is why there are only 5 horseback shrimpers left in this village.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Le filet,
Le filet.
pour attraper le poisson.
Most people simply spread their net out in coastal waters to land their catch.
이 시간이 이제 썰물 때라 고기를 잡으러 많이들 나오시는데 이분은 오징어를 잡으시자마자 바로
Engfish. That's good, really. Oh.
After 3 long hours, it looks like Dominic is finally heading back to land.
The horse is easy, you don't have to walk.
Heading to shore with a day's catch is the best part of a fisherman's day. First, he rinses off his catch with seawater. Everything from horseback riding to catching shrimp, he learned from his father.
Oh, krabjes.
Wow.
Ja, krabjes. Let maar op dat ze niet zijn.
Fascinated by a shrimp catching horse, the children can't take their eyes off the scene. Dominic said he was the same when he first started learning how to shrimp from his dad. The only difference between then and now is that the catch isn't as big these days.
A lot of work to catch such a little bit.
That's why.
Yes.
글쎄, 굉장히 힘든 일인데 뒤에서 조금이잖아요. 물속에 들어가가지고 힘들게 말이랑 같이 잡아온 거에 비하면 조금이기 때문에 이 새우는 굉장히 비싸대요.
Returning home, the horse accompanies us every step of the way. After Dominic brings home the shrimp, his mother Linda cleans and prepares them.
On doit ça cuivre vivant. Ça, c'est important. Tous les crustacés, on cuit ça vivant. Une crabe, une homard, des moules, et aussi les crevettes.
The shrimp here are especially sweet and tasty, drawing diners from Belgium and across Europe. Belgians sometimes fry their shrimp or use them in salads and soups, but the best way to enjoy their original flavor is to boil them like this.
Really fresh one.
Yes.
아까 그 잡은 새우를 바로.
Take like this.
I guess you don't eat the shell.
Ja.
Delicious.
Ja, also good, but you can also do it like this. To peel.
It's simpler than I thought.
착 꼬리 껍질 딱 잘라내고 그다음에 여기를 싹 빼면은 저절로 한 번에 싹 빠져요. 조금 신선해요.
En fait, oui. Moi j'aime bien travailler tous les jours avec les chevaux. Je veux faire ça pour toute la vie. C'est si simple comme ça. Oui.
I really hope he gets his wish. Sadly, it's now time to part ways.
Bye-bye.
Saying goodbye to the fisherman's family, I now head to the center of Belgium, to its capital, Brussels. Home to about 130,000 people, Brussels may be a small city, but it still thrives with its rich culture and history. To see for myself, I now head to a plaza with architecture from 3 separate eras in central Brussels, Grand Place. Witnessing such grand architecture looking down upon the plaza left me speechless.
광장 전체에 빙 둘러서 고딕, 바로크, 르네상스 모든 건물들이 쫙 완전히 둘러싸고 있어요. 정말 중세 시대에 제가 이렇게 와 있는 듯한 느낌이 있어요.
Standing 96 meters tall is a town hall tower. Used by the Union of Local Merchants in the 17th century, when Belgium was a center of international trade, these guild houses add an extra sense of splendor to the place. I can understand why the legendary French writer Victor Hugo called this place the most beautiful plaza in the world.
It's fantastic. It's
Fantastic.
nice.
Bruxelles.
It's nice. Very nice.
There's another thing that makes this place so beautiful. It's the people of Belgium who embrace their traditions by frequently visiting this historical square. They almost seem to take you back to the city's olden days. The old greatness of Brussels is finding new ways to carry on its legacy.
초콜릿이 분수처럼 흐르고 있어요.
You can't visit Brussels without trying its chocolate. There are over 40 shops on this one street alone.
역시 초콜릿의 나라 맞군요.
The Belgian chocolate industry started over 100 years ago, when the cacao-producing African Congo was a colony in the country's empire.
역시 벨기에는 초콜릿의 나라인가 봐요. 초콜릿 가게가 정말 많은데요.
Among them was one swarming with people awaiting a chocolate-making demonstration. First, after melting it at 50 degrees Celsius, the chocolate is cooled on a marble slab until it drops to 32 degrees, which is the ideal temperature for bringing out its natural shine. Why invest such care and attention in the process?
Normalement, maintenant, il y a des machines. Tu mets dedans un peu de froid et vous avez ça. Mais le goût, il n'est pas le même parce que c'est une question de cristallisation du chocolat.
Chocolate is more than just a dessert to Belgians. producing an annual 170,000 tons for $4 billion US. You could call this economic staple Belgium's black gold. After coming out to do some sightseeing on the street, I saw something else. The place was unusually busy with tourists. What were these people posing in front of and taking time to snap pictures of? The center of all this attention was Brussels' oldest citizen at 404 years of age. It's none other than the Peeing Boy statue.
너무 작아요. 기대에 비하면 너무 조그맣고, 근데 이 조그만 꼬마 오줌싸개가 벨기에에서 제일 유명한 또 많은 관광객과 여행객들을 끌어들이는 주인공이에요.
He may be naked now, but this peeing little boy actually has about 600 sets of clothes. It was the old custom of visiting foreign officials to present them as gifts. That's how famous the statue is. I now head for the final destination of the day, in the south of Belgium. It takes a 1.5-hour drive from Brussels just to see this forest. At around 20 times the size of Seoul's Yeouido district, the Ardennes is a massive and dense forest covering parts of France, Luxembourg, and Belgium. Accounting for 80% of Belgium's woodland, the Ardennes act as both the repository of the nation's natural resources and its lungs.
여기가 벨기에와 룩셈부르크 이렇게 다 걸쳐서 있는 그 거대한 숲인데, 그래서 항상 유럽에서 전쟁이 벌어지면 여기가 어떤 요새처럼 여기서 전쟁이 벌어지는 그 장소로 많이 등장하고 있는데, 지금은 너무 평화롭고 이 거대한 숲이 정말 너무 신선하고 좋은데요. 나무에서 나오는 냄새들이.
The further you go into this forest, the denser it seems to get, just like a jungle. There's someone in the distance, and he has a horse with him. Turns out he's of the same species as our shrimp horse from before.
Hi.
But this horse's job is a little different. When lumberjacks cut down trees, this horse takes on the role of transferring the lumber.
Depuis quand ce genre de chevaux aident les humains?
Depuis des générations et des générations.
Le temps de Napoléon.
Oui, encore avant.
A species native to the Ardennes itself, this horse weighs around 1 ton. He's certainly every bit as strong as his huge frame would suggest. Though incredibly strong, their calm nature led German soldiers during World War I to use them to haul tanks. But why do people still use them today, despite modern technology?
Parce qu'on ne saurait pas venir avec les machines ici. Les sapins sont trop serrés, les machines ne passent pas.
Since the dense forest doesn't allow for huge machinery, These strong and agile horses are both worker and companion to the locals.
영화 속 장면 같기도 하고 어떤 동화책 속의 어떤 장면 같기도 하고 너무 낯선 경험이에요. 오늘.
At the same time, loggers are busy at work. Instead of heavy machinery, the loggers here rely on a single electric chainsaw for all their needs. This, too, is to protect the forest. Also, they only cut down older trees that stand over 20 meters tall.
Ça, c'est un bois à couper, ça. Donc le propriétaire qui a décidé de couper cet arbre-là. Ouais. Alors lui, ben, il marque avec une hachette ou autre chose. Et moi, je coupe tous ceux qui ont ce truc-là. Ah, okay. C'est des flashs qu'on appelle ça, ces flashures-là.
While the others work, Usku brings the weary workhorse some food.
Votre cheval travaille pour avoir le repos?
Ah ben il a mangé une fois au matin à 10h30 jusqu'à 11h30. Après il a travaillé 2h30 avant. Et puis on a recommencé à 11h30 jusqu'à maintenant, jusqu'à 2h.
While they usually let the horses rest for 1 hour, if it shows any signs of weakness or illness, the villagers never force it to work. To them, it's not just a beast of labor. The horse is part of their family.
느낌이 이 자연 속에서 사람과 말과 나무와 이 모든 것들이 자연스럽게 공존하고 막 이렇게 억지 부리거나 막 훼손하거나 막 욕심 부리는 이런 게 아니라 이렇게 같이 공생하는 느낌이 되게 좋은 것 같아요.
It was nice to see all those horses playing freely on this Ardennes ranch, where they breed and crossbreed only the best and strongest of horses. Mark, whose horse turns 4 this year, is one such horse. He's certainly something else.
Belle petite tête de ce cheval, une bonne arrière-main comme on dit, un bon jarret ici.
The reason these horses are so much stronger than others lies in their short, thick legs. A long torso, thick neck, and thick boot-like fur are also some unique traits.
Can I touch? 제가 좀 겁이 나긴 하는데.
He must be well trained to stay so calm at a stranger's touch.
너무 순하고 예쁜데 제가 잡아도 돼요? 제 얼굴 사이즈와 이 아이 사이즈가.
It's like petting a really nice dog.
너무 순하게 생겼어요.
Mark shows me to his home.
저기 아버님이 계시대요. 그 아들들이 하는 일을 아버님이 이전에 하셨던. Hi, nice to meet you.
We meet Mark's father. After greeting his father, Mark took us to the first floor living room to show us a wall full of medals. Where did all these trophies and medals come from?
Ça, c'est tous les championnats, les trucs officiels qu'on a reçus.
Mark has a total of 10 horses he's raising for breeding. Among them, he takes special care of this one.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Ça, c'est un cheval qu'on va apprêter pour aller à un concours. On va le toiletter pour le faire beau.
Since contest horses are judged on appearance, genetic background, and skill, appearance often plays a big role in the results.
말 생김새도 너무 특이하게 생겼는데 지금 여기 치장을 하는 걸 보니까 너무 재밌어요. 여기 무슨 콘테스트가 있대요.
The men tie colorful ribbons to its mane as if they were braiding a little girl's hair. The tail is braided for cleanliness. Now that it's dressed up, it's time for practice. First, they inspect its stature, posture, and walk.
Il y a 2-3 jurys qui sont là. On présente le cheval. Et puis après, ils nous donnent l'ordre de marcher avec le cheval et puis de le présenter en courant.
Teamwork between horse and owner is key, so they practice running every day. Can a beginner like me try?
잘 부탁해. 제가 한번 뛰어보겠습니다.
Not once did the horse pass me or fall behind.
와, 말을 잘 들어주는데요. 호흡을 잘 맞추고 있어요. 저도 발을 맞춰서 가봐야 되겠어요. 착하다.
Matching stride with one another, the horse may not speak, but these two definitely speak the same language. Within the forest of life that makes this all possible are the warm hearts of the forest's old friends.